Today we are filming episode number 3 of Cigar Operations, and we have special guests, Tim and Dan. And in the
mobile control booth is our trusty Aldo Torrego. I'm really looking forward to trying this episode's cigar.
What brought us here today are a couple things. We're friends from the military, but it was also, apropos, a cigar. The La Aurora, how do you say it, Dan? Preferido? Preferido. It's a nice little double perfecto. And I was looking in my humidor, and I just had 3 of them. And I haven't seen Dan in a long time, and that was his favorite cigar last I knew.
Are you going to do your triple tappy on these?
I only have 3, Tim. So unless you want to give up your cigar, this is a special, kind of a special occasion cigar. To reward you for that excellent question, I'll let you choose your cigar first. They're all identical, so.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, choose wisely, Dan. Choose wisely.
Todd, I got a question for you. I've always used matches based on the belief that you don't want the butane to degrade the cigar in any way.
He said something. I couldn't quite tell what it was.
There was some mumbling going on. Matches, you have to be careful to let the sulfur burn off before you bring it up there. But right there you're seeing the purist in action. Yeah, top cigar, unadulterated lighting method.
Well, I really appreciate you bringing these out because I've been looking for them. I can't find them.
They're years old in the humidor, I promise you that. When's the last time we smoked together? Do you even remember how long ago it was?
I think you had just come back from Iraq, tour in Iraq.
It was either Kuwait or Afghanistan. So,
It was Afghanistan, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, like 5 or 6 years, and that's probably how old these cigars are.
It's amazing how good we all still look, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We look great.
Yeah.
Haven't aged a bit.
The cigar seems to have held up for
Very well.
6 years.
Very moist.
I have a coffin-sized humidor. It's got a mechanical humidification, a little motor in it.
Well, it works.
What do you think, Dan? It's got some sweetness to it,
Yeah, it's got a little spice,
some spice.
a little pepper.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Be good with a steak.
The body is, it's got a nice full to medium body, more on the full side. I see leather. I see the pepper. And if you smoke it slowly, you get some sweetness on it.
There is a sweetness, but it kind of registers more on the roof of your mouth. I'm a little parched. Are we thinking of drinking something?
Oh, and you brought us some beverages.
I did. I brought us 3 different stouts. I think they're apropos for a cigar.
The first one we'll try is the CBS. Aged in maple syrup bourbon barrels. Founders CBS.
Founders is the brewery. The brand is only made every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, if you guys can slide your social distance cups over here.
Absolutely.
We'll split this one up right.
Hey, you want to send some of
Did you
that
say
over
this is
to
a
the
stout?
mobile control booth?
Mm-hmm. I think stouts go with cigars very well.
Oh, wow. Darn, I ended up pouring myself a little bit extra on that. Darn.
Oh, this is prerogative.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
To old friends.
Yes.
I can't taste the bourbon undertones.
Now, I'm getting a little cedar out of this, too. Or is that my imagination?
It's funny, when you said that, I just picked up a little bit of that, too. And it's about, a quarter of the way in almost.
Tim, you're almost done.
I gotta slow down.
Look at mine compared to Tim's.
He's been talking.
Yeah. Tim is he's a fast smoker. You can dramatically change the taste of your cigar by smoking it slower. But probably the most important thing you can do with your cigar is ones that burn hot or get bitter at the end.
Right.
If you just slow down the smoke, you can salvage them.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to teach Tim how to do it yet, but
I'm working on it.
cigar smoking habitat.
Your dog just ripped apart his toy.
The little pieces are coming out.
He's pooping cotton balls.
Well, yeah, the cigar smoking habitat. When you have a porch like this, if you drop your ash, it's like no big deal. You just scoop it onto the ground. And then I have multiple leaf blowers.
You must have a lot of ash.
Yeah, I do.
So should we crack open another bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for the old Rasputin.
The old Rasputin.
Now, the old Rasputin is probably my favorite stout because some of the stouts tend to be a little syrupy, and they're almost like liquor. That one actually still tastes like beer. That's made by North Coast Brewery.
This time I made them somewhat equitable. Made mine a little less. Be a little more courteous. Nice head on those.
Nice.
Thank you,
Wow,
sir.
that looks excellent to you.
Prost.
Prost.
Roast.
I'm getting maybe a leathery cocoa. And I say cocoa because maybe I'm still picking up sweetness. And a little bit of spice. What are your thoughts on the? You're getting down to the nub on yours.
I am, and it's been consistent the whole way. It's it's not at all bitter yet. I don't know if it will be bitter. I'm not tasting the cocoa. It just has a real fine cigar taste. It's just perfect. It's a classic cigar taste.
Yeah. The whole time we're talking and drinking beer, that flavor of the cigar, just enhances what's going on.
It's kind of a social force multiplier.
I like that word.
Social force multiplier.
But I am way down near the end. I've got it's exactly an inch.
I actually have some, they call them cigar daggers, but you can use a toothpick or the Cigar scissors have this little apparatus, and you just stick the cigar, and then you can continue smoking it. I'll let you guys give it a shot.
Do you stick it all the way through? How do you
Stick it all the way through. Somewhat near the bottom, yeah.
Just keep your fingers away when you do it.
Yeah, don't stab yourself. And it looks a little funny, maybe, some people might say. You're only going to be able to do this for certain cigars, because other cigars are going to be so bitter, you wouldn't even want to. I would normally be a little self-conscious, I think, smoking like this in public, as I sit here smoking on a YouTube episode. Final thoughts. What I'd like to do in recognition of our special guest, Dan, especially given the fact that this is traditionally Dan's favorite cigar, I would like Dan to help me, if you'd be so kind, to give some overall impressions of the La Aurora Preferido.
Well, I think there are a lot of complex flavors with this. Now, if you're a newbie, if you're a beginning cigar smoker, this may be a little bit too much for you. But if you're a seasoned veteran, this is a very good cigar. There are subtle flavors, there are more profound flavors, but overall it's integrated perfectly. It's just a very fine cigar. It's almost like a work of art, in my opinion.
Couldn't have said it better. So, you know what, Tim? We didn't exactly triple tappy this cigar, but we have smoked 3 cigars collectively And we have had 3 opinions on the cigars.
True. Modified triple tappy.
Modified triple tappy. Aldo?
Seriously? With a little pre-planning, you could have done a triple tappy and had enough left over for your guests, and maybe even for old Aldo. And a little beer would have been welcome in the mobile control booth. Did you ever consider that? I'm sitting here with a broken AC, sipping tepid tea. Tepid tea, Todd, and no triple tappy. Atrocious.
Well, that's Aldo.
Yeah, that's Aldo.
I would call this a tappy tag team.
Tappy tag team. There you... Aldo?
You Todd? You too, Dan and Tim. This is horse shit. What the are you even thinking? This is a complete goat That's what this is. A fucking bullshit goat
All right.
All right.
All right. I'm never ready to shut down episodes like this, especially when we're around smoking. But Cigar Operations viewers, I love you, and I hope you enjoy the episode. We'll keep working on some more, and very, very happy to have my special guest, Dan. After 6 years, looks like you haven't aged a day.
That might be the beer talking.
That's a beer talking, but whatever. Tim, you're looking very spiffy today. I love your hat.
Sir?
Final toast. La Aurora Preferido. That's taken.
You Todd?